All right, Sonnies, today we're talking about something that goes way beyond sobriety. Because getting sober is one thing, but rebuilding an entire life, that's a whole different flight. Our guest today is the founder of a brand new St. Augustine nonprofit called Genuinely Joey. And their first program, the Sunflower Collective, is doing exactly that with two homes. One chosen family, a live-in coach who doesn't just run the program, he lives it right alongside every person walking through that door. This is recovery redefined as life redesigns. Please welcome, for the very first time on Sunny TV, Joey Conway.
Yay!
Joey!
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, we're so excited because we've seen you grow so much online and really have so much passion for what you're doing. Can you break it down for our Sunnies out there and tell us a little bit about Genuinely Joey and how it all started?
Well, Genuinely Joey started long before we launched. We launched 11/11 of 2025 as a 501c3 nonprofit.
Fabulous.
I've been studying the human condition my entire life. Humans fascinate me. And I also have, I had an 18-year active addiction sentence myself.
Awesome.
So I would say Genuinely Joey's been brewing for a lot of years.
I say awesome because it's, the path that you're walking, right? And it's not an easy road. Well, yeah, but honestly, you know what's going on and you're inspiring other people, which is so beautiful. So talk about the catharsis of Genuinely Joey. And like, you were like, where were you? Were you at a park? Were you sitting down? You're like, you know what? I need to start this 501c3. What does that look like?
Well, my 501c3 aha moment was I had a mentor that helped me to build this brand. It kind of actually started becoming a thing. I volunteer every week. I go into Epic's residential program and run a SMART meeting. Smart Recovery is the platform, one of the many things I did in my own journey, in my own life redesign. So I feel it important to have it represented inside of another nonprofit
Amazing.
Treatment center. So I've been volunteering my time there every Thursday for the past 2 years. So because the act of service, in terms of when you finally beat this thing, it's the accountability for me too. So, I nourish my soul by giving back, and I hopefully can inspire a few people inside of treatment.
Yeah. So how long did it take to get to Sunflower Collective? Was Genuinely Joey established and then you were obviously building up to this point?
So when Genuinely Joey launched, I didn't know it was going to be a complete nonprofit. I knew the coaching model is one of the most effective models in terms of any human's growth. So I knew I wanted to incorporate a piece of that. But I was really detached from the outcome, right? Like I think things with a heartbeat, which is what Genuinely Joey is, it's nothing but a heartbeat. Things with a heartbeat, much like humans, we all need different things and we all grow differently. So, one of the most important things about Genuinely Joey is that it's a skeletal roadmap to your own becoming.
Oh, I love that.
Instead of, most programming is someone else with lived experience telling you exactly how the hell to live, right? They're telling you, do this, do this, do this, and then you have this beautiful life. Well,
right, yeah.
That's not true for everybody.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way because I used to work for Epic. I was with Teresa Andrews and Lori Vogel. I did fundraising and all the events and things like that. So like Sydney, Madison, they're all great friends of mine.
We could
James.
use your help.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Well,
Perfect.
but I will tell you, one of the biggest things I learned, because I've never had an addiction situation. Well, I guess maybe snacks.
And love.
I have an addiction to food.
Right.
But
that's a real thing.
It
We can touch on that
yes.
too.
But what I'm saying is, what I learned working on these amazing people at Epic is recovery is not linear.
No.
And everyone is so different. And I think when you find people who can help lead others, not just that have walked the walk and been there, but can say, okay, well, I've been there, but what does your recovery look like?
Right.
And I think from what I'm hearing from you, like that's your nail on the head right there.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell all the sunflowers, right? They walk through my door. 99% of them come from a treatment facility, a 30-day program. because that is the medical part that we need. We need stability before we can start redesigning anything. So, my residents come, with oftentimes, like I do, with complete dumpster fires before this 30-day, treatment bubble, right?
Sure.
So when they come, they get to see, the live-in coach aspect is really awesome, but the built-in family and the trust and respect, they get that day one when they walk through the door from treatment. And through my own experience, when I made my decision and I finally surrendered, and then I came back to try to figure out how the fuck I was gonna heal,
Right,
like,
exactly.
what I was gonna do. I didn't, my friends and family that were left that weren't dead from, overdoses or anything like that, like nobody trusted me.
Yeah.
And nobody, I mean, the love will always be there because I am fortunate to have a very supportive family, but the trust and respect were gone. And that alone will relapse you time and time again.
Right.
You get the looks of like, oh, why are you in the bathroom for so long?
Right,
I'm
yeah.
like, well, I had to take a monster number 2.
Right.
I'm not
Now-
using. But that chips away at somebody that's
Yeah.
trying to heal, and you're trying to be this new version of you, which is a lot of strengths from your old life. You have to bring into your new life, but that trust and respect and that non-toxic family. A lot of corporations and stuff, we're like a family here.
No,
And
you're
then
not.
then you screw up one time and they're like, bye.
Yeah.
you
Right,
know?
right.
But this is really that. And I have the example from my family growing up that really bred that we show up for each other.
Right,
so
right.
I was able to recreate that model with strangers. Don't ask me how I was able to do that.
So-
I couldn't tell you.
And another thing I learned is relapsing is part of the recovery process. So how do you handle if you have a client in one of your houses or just like a client that you're working with and they do have a relapse? How do you handle that? Because that can be tough.
It's a really good question. A really good question. And I battled it a million times. What should I do? What should we do? I looked into getting FAR certified, which is, certified by the state, right? But with that model, with your houses being that one relapse and they sent back to treatment.
Wow.
And I just think that's counterintuitive
Yeah.
for what we're trying to do here.
Is that where the whole life redesign aspect comes in? Like you're basically, each person is individual and they're going to have their individual journeys, but redesigning that life, redesigning that thought process into a positive outlook can actually be more beneficial to all concerned.
Language is very important. Language retrains your brain to talk positivity. And we all, manifesting, if you don't do it, you should start writing shit down.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it really does work.
Right, right.
So language is really important. Redesign, recovery has such a bad stigma, which so does addiction.
Right.
You say I'm an addict and you automatically feel and see that shift with somebody
Yeah.
else. We call them normies, right?
Right, right.
Like you see that shift, like, oh, they either say, oh, poor you, or like, oh, we're so proud of you. And
Yeah.
it's like,
It's like
okay,
empty pleasantries.
cool.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
So the language part is really important, and redesign is a very important term because there's a lot of strengths that I myself and we all have to have in the years of active addiction. People see the substance, they see that, but they don't see the tenacity it takes to go after your best friend, your substance, or your behavior of choice, right? Like that's like, people don't understand that stigma of addiction. I don't understand it when people are like, oh, poor you, and I'm like, well, I don't think it's poor me. I have the tenacity to keep going.
Right.
When I was down with, couch surfing, I lived one year, I moved 27 times.
Good gracious.
my.
That weighs on
Right?
you. Yeah.
So the instability of that, so the tenacity of holding it together, and the strength of showing up for yourself every day, like those are all really strong things, right? And that manipulation of people, you become a master manipulator. manipulator. If you channel that into service, into helping people, this world would be such an awesome place. I've never walked in a room, a meeting room. We like experiences over meetings, but I've never walked into a room and not seen so many brilliant people all in one space. Right. And, I choose to see what I choose to see because I use the language that I use. That's part of it.
Right. So then how do you select your sunflowers? Like, how do you know somebody is going to be a great fit into your community that you're building?
I don't think I ever knew 100%. Like I said, I've been studying the human condition for a lot of years. So, I do a phone interview and a Zoom interview, and I kind of see where they're at. I mean, some of my residents are on MAT. Some of them, have shitty families.
Right.
They're all in different places. But for me, I try to uncover the mindset.
Okay.
Most often, humans that go to treatment, it's not their first time. It's their fourth, fifth, sixth time. So I hear almost just like, I hear the desperation, but if I also hear a mindset that wants to go get it, then those two things, 1 + 1 = sunflower.
How are you able to
love that?
How are you able to differentiate between if somebody's being genuine and they really are desperate and they really are at the end of the rope, or like they're just playing one on you? Like, how can you tell? Or is it like, let's just try this out and let's see what happens?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do this?
I try not to do the latter one.
Okay.
I try not to roll the dice. I have my stint of gambling addiction. So, we try to keep things balanced up in here. So rolling the dice, probably not.
Right.
But I would say, as I said, I was in the restaurant business for 25 years before this. So when, you do that, you have to gain instant trust with people. So you learn how to do that. So connecting with someone, even over the phone. I mean, we've had only one relapse since May 11th.
Wow.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
I don't like to gloat. I'm not, but
it's something that we should talk about. It's definitely
celebrate
awesome.
that success.
But you also offer structured freedom. Can you define that a little bit for our Sunnies out there? Like, what does that mean, structured freedom?
Well, I say that this Sunflower Collective experience, it's a collaboration. It's not a democracy. So the Sunflower Standard is, I tell you how to live here in these houses. And I'm a little neurotic, so we do camera-ready houses, but it's about the buy-in. It's not compliance. And if you read any books on the human condition, if you have somebody's buy-in, that means you have their trust, their respect, and they take ownership over it. Instead of spitting a bunch of rules at them, I tell them what our standard is, how they're going to live here, how they're going to fit into the family here. And then because of that, then together, as me being their example, right, we can uncover what they want and why they want it.
I think that's awesome. Is the graduation check a really big, important piece to this puzzle? What is that all about?
I think it is, but I think when people hear it or see it for the first time, they think it's all about money, right? It is a little bit, but the philosophy behind it and the why that I do it, and I feel that it's important, is, when I made my decision, I didn't even have $5 to buy a bus ticket.
Right.
I mean, I was all the way down. I lost a very successful business. I lost my condo. Everything in downtown Chicago that I'd spent 5 years building came crashing down. So I'm sorry, what was the question? The ADHD
graduation.
No, the graduation check. Where did this come from?
Thank you for redirecting my thing.
That's why I'm here.
Human too,
not just a hat rack over here.
Yeah. So I, even at almost 40 years old, when I made my decision, I had never saved $1 to not spend it. That's just how I lived, and that's how most people live.
Sure.
So the $2,400 check is that not instant gratification. So we take 25% of the money that the residents pay for rent.
Okay.
You have to pay your own way through life. That's just part of it. We work, we pay rent, we do this. But I always say money out and humans in, and that's what's a lot of what's wrong with this world. Money is the worst addiction there is. Greed, look around.
Yeah.
All you have to do is open just one of your eyes, not even both of them, to see that that's the biggest issue in our world right now. So I really wanted to pull the money out, and if we're going to truly be a 501c3, then we give our money back to help them.
That's amazing.
That's what the fucking point of this
I love that.
thing is.
I love that.
So each month they get a statement balance like you do from your bank, and it shows their accumulated savings account. So every month, the 25% of their rent goes into a forced savings account that they don't have access to, because I am trying to create the memory and emotion it feels like to have a fuck you fund.
Right.
Which allows you to then not have to say yes to all the bull crap
Right.
in life. It
I
allows
love
you
this
to
idea.
say no.
It's giving
when
people.
you want to say no, and you don't have to say yes because you have a pot to piss in.
Yeah, but you know what? You're giving people their dignity back.
Right.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, because I, within my own family and people, friends in the past, like with the addiction, the recovery process, some of them didn't make it out and they're now 6 feet under.
Yep.
Some of them are sitting in jail. But when you give someone an opportunity where they can see something they've never seen before out of their life, and they never thought, oh my God, I never thought I would have a bank account. It's huge.
I did this. And going back to the coaching model, they take ownership because they actually did it.
Yeah.
I don't say here's a check, but money is a great motivator also. That's another thing, right? Where
But it's survival at the same
we're
time.
in a capitalist country. So money does motivate people. So there's a lot of different reasons for it. But everything we do has a reason, and the reason is for them.
Right.
It's not for me. I don't take a salary. I don't get paid $1. So the 2-house model, I opened my house up to stranger danger, right? I never thought I'd be a homeowner, and I was finally able to buy a home because my forever lover is so supportive and just amazing. And so that was part of it. And then, a lot of things are cosmic. And if you detach the outcome of what you want for something and just open your eyes and ears. So my neighbors became really good friends. Both houses are the same build. It's an identical interior. So it's just crazy how it worked out. We bought our houses just over a year ago, became friends. And then they said, my friend Lisa, my neighbor, said, we're relocating to Wyoming. My husband took a job, but, we would like to protect our investment, but we also want to do something good. And then I thought,
oh my God.
Wow.
now I have 2 houses.
That's a great
My
story.
forever lover was really thrilled when I said, we need a third. We're going to rent this house. And he's like, wait a minute.
He said, no, sir.
So how do you?
And I said, but this is a vision, right?
How do you build community? I mean, people are going through some rough times, but how do you create that family atmosphere? I mean, I see activities you guys do together. How do you get that buy-in for people that are going through some tough times?
That's a good question too. You guys give me such great questions. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So welcoming. Well, the opposite of this is not my opinion. This is an objective fact. The opposite of addiction is in fact connection. So we connect. Sometimes they love it, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
I call it sometimes at the beginning it's forced family fun, which is what my mom used to call it, right? And we're I say we're dope fiends. We chase that natural dopamine.
Right.
So you have to chase that. You have to do things.
Right. Yeah.
So sometimes you're flatlined in early recovery. I was, we're like everything sucks. And that's just how it is. But then guess what? What's the hardest thing? To do something. And what should we do to retrain our brain? The hardest thing. So get your beach suit on. We're going to meditate and we're going to go splash in the ocean.
Awesome. Yeah.
So we do, we play pickleball, we do yoga,
Cool.
we do a weekly beach, weather permitting, meditation as a family. We invite I call them sunflower cousins, all of our extended family that aren't residents that live with us. Yeah. So we like to open it up Mondays. We climb as an organization at Stone. Thank you, Stone. I just want to give them a shout out because they partnered with us. And it's an awesome community of non-sober, not everyone's sober, which is kind of the point. We're all human.
You're going to go back into the world at some point.
Exactly. So go to a cool community of like-minded people. Maybe they don't struggle with addiction, but guess what? Someone that's doing yoga and climbing rocks is probably not going to shoot up and go do that. Or
Right,
go have
right.
some drinks and go rock climbing.
Right,
you know what
right.
I'm saying?
Right.
So it's kind of being smart like that. So it's really that connection piece. And at first, you kind of have to be like, okay, this is required, you know, but they have weekly requirements. So these experiences, right, this connection time, they have to do 3 experiences. I'm an experiences over meeting rooms kind of guy.
Yeah.
I didn't want to spend my years in church basements. I wanted to live my life.
But that's genuinely Joey. I mean, truly, that is the catharsis behind this whole concept, which is beautiful. I think that's awesome. So, what's in the future? What can the community rally with? How can we help you with this incredible project? What's in the future for Genuinely Joey and Sunflower Collective?
Well, we need a lot of help. This one-man show also has my own unique human experience that I would like to enjoy, and that I do. My work is, you know, my passion is my project, and I love it. But, you know, addiction healing wasn't meant to be done alone, and neither was building something as cool as this that can really change the recovery game for a lot of humans.
Yeah.
So what we need, I mean, I've kind of, like I said earlier, I've released the outcome of what we will be. I'm not sure what this is going to turn into. But I
Do you see another
know,
house project in the future?
we're gonna perfect this model and get it sustainable before we move on to any other project.
Smart. That's good.
But we're in the business of humans, right? So our next 2 projects, well, we have 4 things coming up, right? So to fundraise, we're trying to build a tiny house
Okay.
in my backyard.
Cool.
The tiny house it serves multiple purposes because everything we do has a purpose, or 2 or 3. So the tiny house will be a private coaching space where my clients can come and do self-discovery sessions. That will also open up, because right now we do it in one of the houses. And so that will also open up our satellite sunflower program, which will give the opportunity. You don't have to be a resident. You can still take advantage of the program. It would just be weekly and not inside of our home. So the idea is to hopefully make this more accessible to other humans. So that's first. We are building a garden because we want to be sustainable.
Awesome. Very cool.
We're like Laura Ingalls Wilder on Little House on the Prairie.
I like
we build
it.
shit. I went to my forever lover and I went to run a 5K in the Midwest and came back and they had built a fire pit, like a stone fire pit.
wow.
They all just did that to surprise me.
Amazing.
So, you know, it's the pursuit of purpose.
I love
right?
that. You're feeling the love there.
right,
You're feeling the
So
community.
We have two more things that we're looking to do. They're human business programs. One, the Good Trouble Social Club. It's really hard in early recovery to find things to do. So we want to fulfill that need. So we want everyone in AA, SMART, whatever recovery platform, any human, sober or sober curious, or even if you just want to have a good time with cool people, because we are, we want to open that social program. And we also want to launch our own group healing, which is going to be called Gather to Grow. So
Okay.
that's a collaboration about specifically redesign.
So I'm going to do a call to action to the community.
All right.
If you're really feeling what Joey's saying, you can donate.
yes.
You can also, if you are a gardener or you do anything, maybe James Weston, if anybody is in the garden, they want to build this big garden and you want to donate time or you want to go out and help or you want to donate supplies, let's do that. Let's pull together and let's support this young man over here.
Incredible. I actually do. I think this is an amazing project to support, and it's different, and it's just it's innovative, and it's really creating a sense of family when people don't have them. And I think that's incredible. You should be so proud of yourself.
Yeah, this is
honestly, this is
amazing.
a beautiful work of art. How can people follow you? How can people find more information?
I'm still a work in progress on social media, although I'm trying.
Okay.
The effort is there.
You do you.
But just know if I don't respond to you on Instagram or Facebook, I have my own human experience.
Of
and
course.
I try.
Listen.
But please do follow us. It really does help. Genuinely Joey for both Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome.
So,
Very
we're
cool.
gonna build a TikTok sometimes because I have some funny residents.
Awesome, good.
And I have someone that's really interested in kind of learning social media, so we're gonna support that.
That's amazing. amazing. Great.
And, you know, that's kind of what we do. We support people in what they want, how
Yeah.
they want to live.
I love it.
Well, it's amazing what happens when you live genuine, and it's amazing what happens when you have compassion and curiosity, and you're shattering a glass ceiling and making it your dance floor. Congratulations,
you.
my friend. You're an amazing, amazing human being.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. Guys, we're going to take a quick break with Maritime Creative and Flashes and Brilliance.